Hello and welcome to another video. In our previous video, we built this blog with just HTML and CSS. Now you can see we have our navigation here, then we have this ad, then we have our individual blogs here. Then below that we have this button to load more. So when I click on this, it should load more. Then we have this ad at the bottom here also. Then we have the footer. And what you must note is that we have this. So let's go to the 404 page. Let's enter something here. And we have our 404 page. Then after 5 seconds it will redirect us to the home page, and let's wait for it. Now we are on the home page. So just take a look at the URL here. You can see that the page will not refresh. So if I go to maybe the about page, you can see it didn't refresh. Let's go to the contact page. You can see it didn't refresh. Now let's go to the home page and let's click on an individual blog here. Let's click this and you see that it didn't refresh, but we are now on our blog details page, and you can see we have this title here, then we have this featured image here, then we have these two ads here, and this horizontal ad, then we have some content, and we also have this video here which is a YouTube video, then we have this image, then some content. Now let's go to the about page, and you can see we have this about me, then some description and the image. We also have some description at the bottom of the image also. Then let's go to the contact us, and here we have some description here, then some image, and we have the form here. This form is working. So when we say maybe my name, then let's put my email, some random email here at gmail.com. then let's put some message here. Hi, I really like your content. So content. Then let's send this and let's wait for the response. And here we have great job, thanks for contacting us, and let's just click on OK. Then if you go to my email, like for example email.com, let's go to my email. Okay, not this. Let's go to my other browser and let's go to my email, then wait for it, and let's go to this, and you see that we have that email in our mailbox. So we are going to see new message from. So this is the message that we just sent, and let's click on it and you see, hi, I really like your content. So now let's go back and let's see. So let's go to our home page, and you see that the page doesn't refresh. Let's click again, and we have our preloader, then our details page. Now if you like this content or if you like this video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe and share this video. Just go to my channel. Please subscribe to this channel to help me reach 10,000 subscribers. Alright, without wasting my time, let's get into the video. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is to create a new folder in our root directory with the name public. Then let's copy our styles of CSS. So Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V, and drag the copied one to the public folder and rename it to styles of CSS. Also, let's copy our images folder. So Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V, and drag the copied one to the public folder and rename it to images. Now let's collapse all this. Now open your terminal and run npm init-y to create our package.json file. So let's clear this. Then open package.json, then remove everything from there. Now go to the source code of this tutorial. The link is in the description of the video. Now scroll down and look for package.json. So here it is. Now let's copy this and go back to our text editor and paste it within the package.json file. Let's save this and let's run npm install to install all the dependencies. Let me go through some of the dependencies here. You can see we have these dependencies, then we have the dev dependencies. So this is to run our webpack dev server, and also we have the start script here, the build script and the dev script. Now create a new file in the root directory with the name webpack. Oh, sorry, let's close this. So where is it? Let's delete, or just rename it to webpack.config.js. . what is happening to my text editor? So this is a file. I'm going to rename it to webpack.config.js. Then go to your browser and look for webpack config. So copy this, then go back to your text editor and paste the code in webpack.config.js and save this. Now we are not going to copy index.html to the public folder because we are using this package to copy that to the public folder, so we don't have to do that manually. Now here we need our src folder, and we also need index.js in the src folder. So this is our entry file. So let's go to the root directory and let's create a new folder, src, and within this src let's create index.js. Also we need components. Also we need screens. So for our screens, then inside index.js let's create maybe console.log. Let's say console.log, it worked. Then let's close this. Let's also close our webpack config. Then so for package.json, here we are going to run npm run dev to run our webpack dev server. So let's clear this. Then let's do npm run dev, and if everything is correct, this should open our browser and we should see the web page. Let's wait for it. I don't know why my PC is becoming slow. Wait for it. All right, so we have it, and we still have our website, we have our blogs, we have these ads. Now let's move to the next thing. So let's go back. All right, so now let's bring this down and let's start with our header. So let's go to component and let's create a new file, header.js. Then here let's have const, then header. It should be an object, and let's have two functions, render and after render. So here we have our render, then comma, let's have after the page has rendered. So after render, this should also be a function. Now let's export default the header. Then here let's return inside the render function, let's return, so return just a template string, and let's go to index.html and let's copy everything that's within the header tag. So let's copy nav, and let's go back to header.js and let's paste it here. Then after render also, let's go to main.js and let's copy everything here and paste it here. Then below that, we also need to get our links. So const links should be equal to document, so document.query selector, and let's use the all, and let's get all the links. So we say nav list and we want all the links. Then here we are going to map through the link. So let's say first you have to convert it to an array. So let's just bring this in and let's spread it. Then let's say links.map, and let's get the individual links. And here let's say link.add event listener. Then when we click, we want the click event. Let's bring our callback function, and here we are simply going to have our window.scroll to. So when we click, scroll the page to the top, and here let's bring an object. Then we say the top should be 0 and left should also be 0. Then the behavior, let's set it to smooth. So let's save this. Now go to index.html and the script here. So the script here, first it is our main.js script. So change it to bundle.js. So change that script to bundle.js, because if you go to our webpack.config.js, here we give it a name of bundle.js, and it will be sent to the public folder. So after Webpack has bundled all our JavaScript, to put it into this file bundle.js and put it into the public folder. Now we also need this src folder, the index.js. So let's close this. Then let's go to index.js here. Let's remove this console log. Then first let's import our header. So header from, so let's enter into our components folder and let's look for the header. So let's add the .js also to not work. Then scroll down and let's have a function. Let's give it a name, router, and this it should be an async function. So say router, and let's say async. Then here we call, so we want this, and here let's simply get our header, and we say document dot get element by id. And if you go to index.js here and scroll to header, let's look for it. You can see the header, we have this id which is header. So this is the id that you are getting. So go to index.js and let's put that id there, header. Then we are going to simply do header.inner html should be equal to, let's say, await header.render. So we call that render function. Then also the after render, let's say await, then let's say header dot after render. So let's not like this, so after render, and let's call it. Then below that, let's add an event listener to the window, and we want a load event. Then let's simply put our router function there. Let's copy this down again and let's change this to hash change. So hash change. When the hash changes, then let's see if it works. Go to index.js here, not index.js, index.html. Then let's comment out this and let's save. Then let's go to our browser and let's see. Let's refresh. You can see still we have our navigation. Then let's go to our text editor and let's continue. Now inside the src folder, enter into the screens folder and let's create some screens there. So you're going to need our home screen. So home screen .js. We're also going to need the about screen. So this is for the about page. So about screen.js. We're also going to need the contact. So contact screen.js. We need the details also. So details screen.js. Then we need our error. So let's say error, then 404 screen.js. Then inside the home screen, let's say const, then let's say home screen, and here is an object. Let's have our render. Then let's do it this way. We also need our after render. Then let's call this, we want this. Then let's export default it our home screen. Now let's copy everything here and go to the about screen, paste it there. Then let's hold alt, but before that let's go to home screen. Let's return simply a div and let's say home. So here let's say home screen. Then let's copy it again and let's go to the about, Control A, Control V, then hold alt and click and let's change to about. Then let's go to the contact also, paste it here and change it to contact. Let's do same for the details also, paste it here, then change it to details, and let's paste it here again. So this is for the error 404. Now let's close this. Let's close this one also. For the header also, let's close it. Don't need it. Let's close the about screen also. Then for the home screen, now in index.js, let's import all of them. So let's say import, and we want the home screen. Then here from, let's enter into the screens folder, and let's look for home screen.js. Let's copy this down, and here let's change it to about. Then the next one should be contact. The next one also should be details. And then the last one should be the error 404. 404. Then let's have our route. So const route should be an object, and if it is slash, then we want the home screen. So we want the home screen. Then if it is slash, so let's say block slash, then we want a slash. So if it is this way, then we want the detail screen. Also for the about, then here we want the about screen. Then the last one is our contact. Then we want the contact screen. Let's save this. Then let's go to the SRC folder and let's create a new file there. Let's give it a name, utils.js. Then inside this folder, let's have our function to pass our request URL. So here let's export this, and let's say const, then let's say pass request URL. Then it should be a function. Then here let's get the URL. We are going to say document.location.hash. We are going to get the URL by the hash. Then let's change it to lowercase. Then also let's have our request. So let's say request. Then let's split the URL dot split, and let's split it by the slash. Then finally let's return an object, and here resource will be request, and we want 1. Then for the slash it will be request, and we want 2. Then for the verb we want request, and we want 3. Also let's have our loader and hide loading here. So const, let's say show loading. Then this is simply a function here. This should be a function, and let's get our, so document.get element by id. Let's get our loading div. So if you go to the top here, we have our preloader and the id is loading. So let's get this id, and let's have our loading here. Then simply I'm going to have class list dot add active. So we have this active class here which we added inside our styles.css. So when it is active, we want to show the loader. Then also let's copy this down, and here we are going to say hide loading. So hide loading, and if it is hide loading, let's remove the class active. Now let's go back to index.js, and here we are going to import all the functions from utils. So let's say let's enter into utils. So utils.js. Then here we want our pass request URL. Also we want the show loading, we want the hide loading. Now before the screens and the header will render, we want to show our loading. So show loading, and let's call it, and after the screen has rendered, let's hide it. Now below the show loading, let's have a function, but first let's say const request. Then here we are going to simply call our pass request URL. Then this will return the object that we wrote in the utils. And here let's say const pass URL should be equal to, so if this is available, if request dot resource is available, then we want to use it. And here we want a template string. Then here we want request dot resource, else let's render our slash. Then let's concatenate this, and if request dot slack is available, then let's use slash slack, else let's render this empty string. Then let's concatenate this also. And for the verb, if request dot verb is available, then let's render our request. So let's say request dot verb, else let's put an empty string there. Then let's save this. Let's check if request dot resource is available, use request dot resource, else use slash. Then for the slack also use this, else an empty string. Then for the verb use this, else an empty string. Now let's create our screen. Then let's say route, and let's pass in the pass URL. So if this is available, then render it. So say route, and let's pass in the pass URL, else let's show our error page. So error 404 page. Then let's save this. Then underneath the, let's say our await header dot after render. So underneath that, let's get our main div. So if you go to index.html and you scroll down, then look for this. So this is our content div. So this is the content. So this contains all our content. So we want this div here. So this ID. So let's go to this place. Let's say document dot get element by ID, and we want the content ID there. Then let's say main dot inner HTML should be equal to await. Then let's say screen dot render. Then if screen dot after render is available, then await screen dot after render. Let's save this. Then let's see if everything is correct. Now let's check our terminal also and see if we have some errors here. There is no error. Let me drag this down, and let's go to our browser and see. All right, now we have our home screen, and you can see everything is working. So when we click on about, we should, okay, it shows 404 page. Let's see, there is an error. So let's go back and let's see if everything is correct. Then the fault will be here. So for the pass URL, okay, we need to put a slash in front of them. So slash this, then slash this. Now save this and go back and see if everything works. Now we have about screen. Let's click again. We have the contact screen. Let's click this. We have the home screen. All right, let's go back to our text editor. All right, now let's close utils.js and index.js. Then let's open our error 404 screen. Then let's go to 404.html and let's copy the code within the content ID. Let's copy this code here. So the div, let's copy everything within the content div. So copy that and go to error 404. Then let's remove this. So let's replace this with the one we copied. Then now inside the after render here, let's say set timeout. and here we want after 5 seconds. Then here let's say location, so we want to change the location and we want here, let's say slash slash, then let's put the home page there. So after 5 seconds this will redirect us to the home page. Now let's save this and go to our browser and let's see. So let's enter something else here, let's say this, and this we have the 404 page. So after 5 seconds this will redirect us to the home page. Now we are in the home page. All right, it works. Now let's go to our text editor and let's close this. Let's close this one also and let's open home screen. Now we need to render the blocks, so let's go to index.html and let me bring this down. We have to copy the block, so let's see. So we need this, so we have to copy everything within the content. So let me scroll down. So this is the ending div, but let's copy everything like this, including the button. So let's copy this and let's go to home screen. Then let's see, let's replace it, but before that we need to have an empty div. So let's just remove the home screen text here, then let's paste it here. Now let's save this and let's go to our browser and see if we can see our blocks. All right, now we have our blocks and our button. Now let's go back to our text editor and let's copy just a single block. So let's copy a single block here. Where is the ending div? Let's copy a single block. Then let's create a new component called block.js here, and here let's say const block, then an object render, then here let's return this. So let's return a single block. Now let's save this, then let's go to our home page, so the home screen. Then here we need to remove all the blocks, so we need to remove all these blocks here. So let's locate the ending div, so this ending div here, so we want all the blocks. So let's start by removing all the blocks, then let's scroll up. So these are the blocks here, let's remove all. Let me see if this is correct. All right, now we need to first create a new file inside src and name it api.js. all right, now it is time for us to create the block data in Contentful. So open your browser and search for Contentful. Then here click on get started, then choose sign up for free, click on it. I already have an account, so I'm just going to log in. So let me go back and I'm going to click on login. So you have to click on sign up, then create an account with them. I'm just logging in. Then the first thing you have to do is to delete their example project. So just click on settings, then go to general settings. Then here you have example project space here, so scroll down and click on delete space, then just copy the example project, copy that and paste it here, then remove it. Then you have a button to add a space, click on it and scroll down and look for community space, so that's a free space, click on it. When you are done, come to content model. So we are going to create a new content model. I already have one for the blog, but I'm going to create a new one to show you how it is done. So click on add, then here I'm going to say, let's give it a name, let's say maybe JS, maybe JS blog. Then here I'm simply going to call it JS blog. We are going to use this API identifier somewhere in our code to identify that content model. Then click on create, then wait for it. Then let's see, now it is time for us to add a field. So let's start adding the fields. So first we are going to need our title. We are going to click on text, then here let's simply say title. So title, is the spelling correct? Title. Then we want short text, then just click on create and configure. So click this, Then here let's say this would represent the title here. Then select this, then let's go to validation. Then here we want it so it is required field and it should be unique because we're going to use this to generate the slack. Then let's also see, let's limit the character. So here we want it between 3 and 50. So the error should be, let's say, title must be between 3 to 50 chance. Then here let's simply confirm. Let's see appearance. Yes, we want single. Then simply confirm it. Then let's also add our slack. So we want test, it is also test. Click on it. Then here say slack, then choose short test, then create and configure. Then here we want, so for the validation, let's make it required and it should be unique. And for the appearance, you have to choose slack. So choose slack, then confirm. Then let's add another field, which is a thumbnail. So this is going to be media, and here we are going to say thumbnail. Then it is one file. Then just click create and configure. Then here go to validation, it is required. Then here we want accept only specified, no, accept only specified file. So let's click this, then choose image. Let's see appearance, there's nothing there. Then simply click on confirm. Then the next one is our featured image. So the same thing, click on media, and here let's say featured image, then one file. Let's configure this. For the validation, let's choose required. Then the type, let's choose image. Then let's confirm. Then the next one is our details. So for the details, it is going to be the rich text. So here we are going to say details. Then here let's create, let's say here we are going to need, so for the details we are going to, we don't need the h1. Let's see, we don't also need the h2, we need h3, h4, h5, and so on. Then let's see everything is okay. Now let me see, we want our asset entry URL. Now let's confirm. So the next one is our author name. So it should also be a text. Then here let's say author name, then it should be short. Let's configure this. Let's see, for the validation, it should be required, and the author name should be unique also. And here let's simply confirm. Then the next one is the author image. So here I'm going to choose media. Then here let's say author image. Then let's configure this, and let's choose validation, it should be required. Then the specified file type should be image, and let's confirm this. And the last one is the category. So let's select test, and here we are simply going to say category. Then let's configure this. Let's see, we want validation, it should be required, and for the unique, yes, it should be unique also. Then let's confirm. Now we are done with the fields. It is time for us to create a single block. So I'm just going to, so let's save this. You have to save it. So save it. Now it has created the content type for us, which is JS block. Now I'm not going to use this one, I'm going to use the original one, the one I created first. So let me click this, and you can see we have the same thing here. So let's click on content. So click on content, then here we have our content here. So just click on add block. So add block, then we want for the block, so I'm choosing this block. Then here let's see, for the title, let me open some, maybe let's say how to train a dog. Let me look for some article and just copy and paste. Let's see, let's copy this. So let's have this. Then here let me see, I'm just going to copy this title here, copy this. then let me paste it here. Just take your time and create the blog. Because of this tutorial, I have to make everything fast. So for the media, we have to go to media. So you have to go to this media tab here, then add the images. So now let's go to add asset. You have to click on add asset, then let's say multiple assets. So click on multiple assets. It is loading. Then here just click on this. Then from your desktop or anywhere you save the images, just look for it. I'm going to upload this one, so just click on this, then simply click on upload and wait for it to upload. So let's wait for it. That's already uploaded. So I'm going to close this. Then it is uploading. Let me wait for it. All right, now it has been uploaded. So I'm just going to publish. So click on it, just take it. If you have multiple images, just tick all of them. So I'm just going to untick this one, then click on publish. So this will publish it and you see the publish this in here. Now let's go to our blog. So we need to go back to the content that we are creating, which is this one. You have to go back to it. Then for the media, for the thumbnail, click on it and click on add existing media. Then you have the images. So this is the image we added. So I'm just going to click on it. Then also this one, existing media, click on it. Then for the content, I'm just going to copy this text here. Let me copy this text here like this. Then go back and paste it here. Paste it again, and we want some title. So here, let me paste this here. Let me paste it here like this. Then let me change it to, let's see, this should be our title. So it should be an H4. Let's copy this. No, there is something wrong here. Let me copy this and paste it here, and this should be an H4. Why is it affecting this one also? Maybe it's because of the way we copied the text. So first, let me just type something there. How to train a dog. Then let me select it again, and I want it to be an H4. I want it to be an H4. Then let me copy this, paste it here also, paste it here. And if you want to add maybe, let's say, a YouTube video, so let me go to my website, not my website, my YouTube channel. Let's say we want to embed some YouTube video. Since my internet is slow, then let's click on, let's say we want to add, let me go to my channel then see. Then this, let's click on this. Then let me pause this and click on share. So click on share and click on embed. So embed and copy only the link. So just copy only this link inside the SRC. Copy that link, then close this and go to the blog, and let's see where we want to add the link. So here, simply click on this hyperlink here. Then let's give it maybe a name. Let's say YouTube. You can give it any name that you want. YouTube. Then just paste. So we want URL and paste the URL here. Then click on insert. Then let's say we want to add some image also. So here we want some image within our blog. So simply go to embed. Then let's say asset. Then let's choose some random image, and we have our image there. Then also, no, not that. Also, we want an image at the end also here. So just click on embed again, asset. Then let's look for some nice image, and we have that image there. Then let's see, let's copy some text from here and paste it here. Let me remove this. Now scroll down and let's start with the author name. Yeah, I'm going to simply say Michael. So we already have Michael Smith. Let me choose Okay, Michael Smith. Michael, is that the spelling of Michael? Michael Smith. Then for the author image, let's click on add media, existing one. Then you have to add the author image also, but I already have some there. I'm just going to choose this. Then for the category, let's say cat and dog. Then let's check if we have all the fields filled. Then let's click on publish. Now you click on publish and wait for it. All right, it has been published. Now when I go to the blog, not this, if you go to the blog, let's say Edem blog. So this is a blog, and we should see that blog that we just created. So this is a blog that we just created. You can see that it has been updated here. Let's click on it and see. Let's see if we have the YouTube video, we have the image, we have the text and everything. Now let me close this and close this one also, then the YouTube video also. Now let's go to our text editor. Then what you're going to do is, first let's get our Contentful package. So let's say create, so client, so it is create client from Contentful. So if you go to package.json, we are using this package. So you're going to use this package to fetch the data from Contentful. Let me close this and save this. Then let's get our client. So we have to create a client. So client, and we want create client, and we pass in an object, and we want a space, and this will be a string. Then we also want the access token. It's also going to be a string. Now go back to Contentful. So let's go back to Contentful and go to settings, then go to, let's see, API keys. Then here you have to create a new API key. I already have a block API key, so we just click on add API key, then wait for it, then scroll down. You have to give it a name, so just give it a name. Here I have Contentful block 1. Then here they will generate the space ID, so just copy the space ID, copy this, then go back and paste it here. Then also copy the content delivery API token, copy it, go back to your text editor and paste it here also. Now the next thing is to first get our blog. So let's create this function called get blogs. Then it should be an async function, and here we want the limit. You have to set some limit on the fields that we want to fetch, and here we want 6. Then let's say skip. So this is for the pagination or the loading. Then it should be this function here. Then we are going to do our try catch. Then here, for the catch, let's simply console log error. So console dot log error. Then for the try, what you're going to do is to first get the response. So const response, so response should be equal to await, then client dot get entries. Then we pass in our content type, so content underscore type, and it should be a string. Then we also pass in our limit, then also our skip. Let's save this, then go back to Contentful, then go to, is it content model? Click on your content model, the one you created. So I'm going to click on mine, then wait for it, and you can see here we have the content type ID. So you have to copy this ID, which is blog. I give it a name of blog, so let me copy this, then go back to my text editor and paste it here. So this is the content type, and paste it there. Then here, let's say maybe, let blogs be equal to response. So response, so here let's see dot items, Later on, I'll show you how we got these items from the response. So let's say blocks should be equal to blocks dot map, and we want item, the single block. Then here let's simply get the ID. We want the created at also, it should be equal to item.sys, to be found in item.sys. Then also let's say const title, and we want the slag. We also want author name. Then we also want the category, and should be in item.fields. Then we also want our thumbnail, so thumbnail should be equal to item.fields.thumbnail.files.file.url. For now you will not understand, but later on you understand why we did it that way. Author image should be equal to, so it should be the same thing. Let's just copy this and paste it here. Then let's change the thumbnail to author image. Then let's save this. Then now let's simply return an object. Let's see, we want ID, then title, then let's see slag, then thumbnail, then we want the author name, we also want the author image, then we want the created art, we want the category also. Now let's save this and let's go to our home screen. So go to home screen, then here let's import, so let's get that function that we just created. So import get blocks, then from, let's enter into api.js. so we have to add a .js or else it will not work. Then below that, let's also get our block, so import block from, so the block component that we created inside the component folder, let's get out from the screen folder and enter into components, and let's look for block.js. so .js. Now inside the render we have to make this an async function, so async. Then here let's get the block, so blocks should be equal to await, so get blocks. So let's call this. Then what we have to do is to first check, so let's go to API and let's console log response. So let's console log this response to see what is happening. Response. So let's console log this. Let's go back to our browser and let's see. Let's go to the console. Let's see if things are working all right. All right, now we have this object here. So this is the response. This is what we are getting from Contentful. And we have the skip, we have the limit. So we have this items array here. So these are the items that we are. So if you check, let's open this. We have the items and we have the individual blocks. So if you open this, this is an object, and we have the fields. We have the sys, this is the ID. Then we have the field, so this is a field, we have the title, we have the slag, we have the author name. So you can go through this. Now let's go back to our text editor. Let me remove this. Then let's see, let's go to home screen here. Then here we are simply going to map through that. So let's do blocks.map. Then we want a single block, and here let's see, we are simply going to do here, let's do this. We are going to do block.render, and we pass in our block, so this single block here. Then we are going to do, so after the the map this in curly brace, we are going to do dot join. So we need to join this. Then here let's join by this, a new line. So let's join by this. Let's save this and let's go to the blocks component here, and here we are simply going to get our block from it. So we want the block because we are passing in that block. So this is a function that we are calling the block dot render, and we are passing in the block, the individual block. So let's go back to the block component here, and for the href, let's say the link, we are going to say blocks slash, and here we want something like this. Here will become block dot slack. Then for the image, we are going to make it this way. So let's remove this. We are going to have https, then we want something like this. We want blog dot thumbnail. Then let's see for the, let's copy this link here because that's the same thing that we are going to have for the link here. So let's just paste it here. Let's paste it here. Then for the title here, it's simply going to be something like this. First we have to check the length. So we are going to say block.title.length. So if the length is greater than 40, then let's show this block.title. So title.substring. So substr. So substr. Then here we are going to simply say 0 and 40. It should be between 0 and 40. Then let's add some else we render our block.title. So if block.title.length is greater than 40, then we render this, we shorten it, also we render the whole title. Then let's go to the category also. So this is a category. Let's remove this, and here we want our block.category. Then for the date, we are going to use a package to render the date. We can use moment, but moment, I don't think I've used moment for a very long time. What I use is this package because it's very lightweight and it doesn't take enough space. So this is it. Let's look for it. What is the name? This is the dot. So this is a date fin. So date fins. This is a package. It works very well. So let's just go to blocks and let's import that. So import, we are going to need format and pass. So pass ISO. Pass ISO from, should be from date dash fns, and we want format pass ISO. Let's check the spelling wall. Then let's go to the date. So where is the date? Let's look for this date here. Then let's do our normal thing. We see format, then this format we pass this function here. You're going to say pass ISO. Then we are going to pass in our block dot created, so created at. Then the second argument should be ppp. Then let's save this. Now the next thing is the author image and the author name. So for the author image, we are simply going to remove this https. Then here we want blog dot author, so author image. Then for the name, let's remove this, not the class. For the name, let's say blog dot author name. Let's save this and let's go to our browser and let's see if everything is working. And we have a lot of errors here. Blocks is undefined, blocks is undefined. So let's see, let's go back to our home screen here and let's see. Here we see const blocks. So here we want, so first we get our blocks, but before that let's console log blocks and see if we are actually getting what we want. So let me just uncomment this, or let me just remove this for now. Let me remove this. So this is the blocks. Now let's go back to our text editor, our browser here. Let's see data fields. Okay, so the spelling was wrong here. It is date. Then save this. Now let's go back and let's see. Let me remove this. All right, so for the blocks is undefined. Let's go to API here, export get blocks. So get blocks, and here we are returning this. So we need to return the blocks. So we are actually doing some mistake here. We need to actually return the blocks, all the blocks. So blocks. So this will change everything into an array and we need to return it. Now let's go back to our home screen here. Let's paste what we removed. Then let's go back to our browser and let's see. All right, there are still some mistakes. Let's see. We get the blocks. So we get all the blocks, the 6 blocks. But before that, let's remove this and see. And let's go back and see. Okay, there are no errors here. So for the home screen, there is no error there. I think the error is in the block. So we get our 6 blocks. These are the 6 blocks. So let's go back and let's paste it again. So we said blocks.map, and here we are mapping through. So here let's see if there is actually some error here that we need to fix. So we say block.render, and we need the block. We pass in our block, then .join, then we join by a new line. So let's go to the blocks. So this is a block that we are rendering here. Let's see, we're actually doing some mistake somewhere. So we need this a block, the block.slack, then block.thumbnail, block.slack, and let's see, let's go back and see if, so we have to actually find the error. So cut in promise, let's see here. Okay, the import. Let's go to the home screen. So here let's see, it seems this import is wrong here. We need to, okay, we didn't export the block, so export default. Oh, that mistake was very bad. We should have exported it, so we didn't export it. And now invalid time value. Okay, the time is also, so here we want pass ISO. We got format from date fins, so we got a format and pass ISO. Then here let's see, let's simply remove this here. So let's remove it for now. Let's remove this and let's pass in our own date and let's see if everything works. So they're in August 2021. Let's save this and let's go back and see. Now everything works. Okay, we get all our blocks. Now let's go back to our block again, and for the time, let me see, let me remove this. So let's do this. We are going to say format. So format, and we call this Then we pass in pass ISO. Then we pass in the block dot created at. Then the second argument should be the PPP. I think that's it. Now let's go back and see. So we are getting the same error, invalid time value. Where is this error coming from? Okay, I've seen the error. It is created at, not create at. So created at. So make it created at. Then go to API.js here and change it to created at. Also change it from this side also, created at. Now let's go back and see if everything works. Alright, now everything is working. Let's see, everything is now working. So let's click this and see, and we have our details screen with a slug here. Let's go back and click this also. We also have our details screen. Alright, now let's go back to our text editor. Alright, now let's start with the load more functionality. So let's go to the home screen, then let's go to the after render, and here let's get our button. So const btn should be document dot get element by id. Then here we want our load. So this is the load button. Let's copy this and paste it here. Then we also want, let's say, let index should be equal to, so the index should be equal to 0. Then let's add an event. Let's add with the btn. Then here let's say we want a click event. Then let's call our load data function. Now let's create a load data function. So here let's say async should be async function, and it should be load data. And here let's get a block. So blocks should be equal to await, and here let's say get blocks. So this is a function that this is a get blocks that we are calling here, get blocks. Then here let's pass in our limit and the skip. So for the skip, you're going to do 3 times, so plus plus index plus 1. Then this will return the block, but it will be 3 in number. Then let's do let template be equal to document. So document dot get element by id. Then here let's get the block layout id. So let's get this id here and let's simply paste it here. Now let's get a data. So data should be equal to blocks dot map, and let's call some function there. Then we pass in our block, and let's simply return. So let's return block dot render, and we pass in the block. Then let's join. So after the map, we need to actually join them together. Now after this, let me see, where are we? Okay, so after this you have to, so let's say template dot insert adjacent html. Then let's say before end, we want before end. Then let's simply pass in our data. Then if the blocks dot length is equal to 0, then we want btn dot disabled should be equal to true. Then also btn dot inner text should be equal to no more blocks. Let's save this and go and check if everything works. So let's go to our browser, let's click, and we get more. Let's click again, we get more. Let's click, get more, let's click, and this is the last one. Let's click again, and no more blocks. All right, so the pagination works. Now let's go back to our text editor. All right, now it is time for us to start coding the details page. So let's close this, let's close this, let's also close this. Now let's go to api.js here, and let's copy this function down, the get blocks function. Then let's change it to get block. Then here we are going to pass in our slug, so slug. Then also for the response here, we don't need this skip end limit. Then here let's pass in our field, so fields dot slug should be the slug that we are passing in. Then also let's scroll down here, we're going to say block details, so block details, and here we want response dot items, we want everything as it is. So let's copy this blocks details here, let's paste it here, and let's also paste it here. Then we are going to map through. We want the ID, we want created at, also we want the title, we don't need a slug, we need the author name, we need a category, thumbnail, we don't need thumbnail. Yeah, this is going to be, let's say, featured, so this is going to be featured image, not featured image. Yeah, featured image. Then here let's change it to featured image, so featured image. Then the last thing here, we are going to need the details also, so details should be equal to item dot fields dot details. So this is for the details. You're going to move this slug, then the thumbnail, then let's put featured image here, then our details, and we don't need, let's see, created art, and I think everything is right. And here it is going to be block details. Then let's see, we need the ID, title, featured image, details, author name, we don't need the author image, let's move that. Let's see if we have author image here. No, we don't have it. We need a category also. So let's save this, and let's go to our details screen. So here let's simply import some dependencies here. So first let's get import, so from, you say art, so rich text. So this is we are going to use this package to render our details rich content. Then here we want document to HTML string. Then we also need import, we need our time distance, so we also need our pass. So first let's get that from, let's enter into our utils.js. Then we want pass request URL. Then let's get our get block from api.js. Let me check the name we gave to it, get block. Okay, it is correct. Then we also need, let's see, we want, so this should be in caps, blocks, then inlines, then it should be from at content rich text types. Then we also need our time, so import, we need format, then we also need pass ISO from, should be from date. So let's remove this date, not data, date dash fns, and let's save this. Now go to the source code, so go to your, let's see, yeah, the source code, scroll down and look for render options. So just copy this, Then go back to your text editor here and paste it here. So before the details screen, so paste it there. Then let's go to our details screen here, and this is an async, so async function here. Then here let's simply say const request should be equal to, let's say, pass request URL. Then here let's say const block details. Let me see if we actually got it. So here is we did it block, so it should rather be okay. That's it. Block details should be equal to, then we are going to say await get block, and we pass in the request dot slack, because this will return the resource and slack and the verb. So we need the slack from the request. Then let's see, let's save this and let's first, so let's console log block details and see if everything is working. So let's go to our block, let's click and see. All right, so we get the block, and here is it. Okay, so let's go back. It seems you are console logging something in there. Let's see if you have any console log. Let's go to the home page and see if you have any console log here. Let's move this, then let's close it, and let's go to the details screen. Then here let's see what you have to do. Let's map through. So you're going to say block details dot map. Then here we want a single block. Then you're going to return. So let's move this console log also. So you're going to return everything. So let's go to block details. So the HTML for, so details.html here, and we need everything inside the content. So you're going to copy this, everything here. Let's first go to the ending div. So this is it. Let's go and copy. Let's copy to this place here. Let's go here and paste it here. Now let's remove everything inside this content div. So let's remove that. Why is it not moving? Let's move this to this paragraph here. Then what you're going to do here is we are going to use our document to HTML string. So here let's say document to HTML, and we're going to pass in the block.details. So details. Then we are going to also pass in our render option. So that's the second argument. Let's save this. Then for the featured image, where is it? This is a featured image. Here we are going to say HTTPS. Then here let's simply get our blog.featured, so featured image. Then for the date, let's go to blog. So let's go to blog. We have that date there. Let's just copy that. Let's copy this, then go to details, and for the date let's just paste this here. All right, let's see. We have format pass blog dot created at. Then for the name, so for the name, this is going to be, so this is a name, this is going to be blog dot author, so author name. Then let's leave a space here. Then for the title, where's the title? So this is the title, and this is going to be blog.title. Then for the image also, let's see. I think everything is all right. So let's go to our browser and let's see if we have everything in place. We have our title, we have the time, we have everything. Let's see. I think everything is okay. Let's click on this first one and see if you will see the YouTube video. All right, so this is a YouTube video here. I think everything is okay. Now let's go to, so let's go to the after render here. and here let's simply say window dot scroll to, then let's say top should be 0, then left should be 0, then behavior should be smooth. Let's save this, and now if you go to the home, and when we click, it should scroll to the top. Let's go back again, let's click on another one, it should scroll to the top. All right, now the next thing is to create the about page. So the about page, so let's go to our text editor here. All right, now let's close the details screen, then the block.js also, and the API also, and let's open about screen. Now let's go to the details.html, and let's copy this. Let's copy this here. So where is the ending? Let me look for the ending div, and let's copy the block details, everything within the block details, and let's paste it here. So let's just replace this with that, and for the top here we need this h1. Let's see this, we don't need this, we don't need the info. Then for the h1 here, you're going to say about us. Then for the image here, let's enter into images folder, and let's look for profile. So profile dot, let me go to images folder and see, let me see images. We have profile, so we have profile dot, so dot jpg. Let's save this and see. Okay, we have this image. Then for the text here, you can change the text to whatever you want. Now let's go to our browser and see if we have that. Let's go to about, and we have this about page here. Now it's left with the contact page. So let's go to our text editor, and let's open, let me collapse this, so let's open contact screen here. Then let's go to contact.html, and here we are going to copy everything within the content here. So we want this, everything within the content. Let's copy, let me cut and see if everything is okay. Now let me copy, and let's close it. Then let's simply replace this here like this, and here let's see, we don't need, okay, we have everything in place. Now let's go to our browser and see. So this is the contact. Let's see, we have our form, then we have this image here. All right, so let's see. Now for the contact screen, we are simply going to remove this. Let's remove the form here. So we are going to create a new component called form. So form.js here, and here let's simply say const form, then let's render. So yes, let's return this, and let's go and copy the form. So let's copy this form here. So let's copy this form, let's cut, then let's go to form.js, and let's paste it here. Then let's save this, and let's export this. So export default should be form. Then let's go to contact screen, and let's import that import form from. So let's enter into components, let's look for form, so form.js. Then where we actually cut it from, so it was this place, we are simply going to say form.render, and we call it, and let's save this and see if we still have our form there, and we still have our form. Now the next thing is to add the functionality. So let's go to our text editor. All right, so now the first thing we have to do is inside the after render here, let's simply say if form dot after render, if this exists, then let's await form, so form dot after render, and let's call it. Now let's go to our browser and let's search for email, so email js. Then let's click on this first link here. This is email js, so this is a service you're going to use. You can go to their docs here and you can scroll and look for email.js.send. So this is how we are going to actually send the email. Now I'm going to click on sign in. You have to click on sign up and sign up for their service. Then when you are done, sign in. Then let me sign in, then wait for it. And the first thing we have to do is to create a service. So we have to create a new service here. I already have my service here, which is Gmail, but just click on add new service, then click on Gmail here, and you will get your service ID. Then click on create service, but I'm not going to do that. So simply create the service. Then the next thing, we are going to need this service ID, so just keep it in mind. Then go to email template. For the email template, you can just click on create new template. Then here you simply have new message from, then this change it to, just move that from, then here also remove the from, then here also remove the from, then we have message, then here you're going to have then to email, let this be here. Then for this place, just put email here. Then also for this place, let's put email. So let's say email here like this. Then for the name, from name, just put this, and let's put name. Now simply save this. So you can save this, then let's see, wait for it. And now let's go back to template. You can see we have that there, but I'm going to delete. I don't know which one did I create at first. Let me see, let me go back and let me check this one also. All right, so this is my previous one. You can see we have two, then I have this email here, then we have this from name. For the name, I place email, so change the from name to email rather. Then for the from email, put email there, then reply to put email also there. Then this, you can format this, put emojis, then the name. Just look at how I did it. You can change colors also. Just look for this, then you can change the text color, just highlight it and change it. So when you are done, just click on save. So let me see, I'm going to delete that one I created. Let me see, was it this one? Let me check again. Okay, so this is my previous one. Let me delete this one. Let me delete this, and you're going to need this. Let me see if it is okay. So you're going to need this template ID here, and the integration. You click on integration also. We are going to need this user ID also. Now let's go to our text editor here. Then let's go to form. Then let's have after render. So after render here, we want this function here. Then here we are simply going to have our first, let's do document dot, so let's say get element by ID, and we want the contact form. Where is it? So this ID, a contact form. So copy this and paste it here. Then let's add an event listener dot add event listener. You want a submit, and here let's simply call a function handle submit. Then above that, let's create our function here. So the function is going to be const handle submit. Then this will be an async function. Then let's pass in the event. Then here let's do event.prevent default. Let's call that. Then below that, let's simply get the data from the form. So you have to do it this way: e.target.name. So name.value. Then we also need the email. We are going to say e.target.email.value. Then we need the message .target.message.value. Now let's have our try and catch block here. Then before we do that, let's go to the top here and let's import some dependencies here. We're going to need email.js from email. So from email.js-com. You can search for this package and know more about it. We also need swell from suite alert 2. Then let's go to the try block here, and here let's do const response. So response should be equal to await email dot, so email.js dot send. Then here let's simply have our service ID, which is the first thing. The next one is the template ID. Then let's pass in our data. Then the next one is the user ID. So let's go to our browser and let's copy this user ID here. So you go to integration, then you have the user ID here. You can copy this user ID, then go back to your text editor and paste it here. So this is the user ID. The first one is the service ID. So go back, then let's go to email service. Then this is the, so click on this and copy this service ID. So let's go to our text editor and let's paste it here. Then for the template ID, let's go back and let's click on it, template. Then let's click, let's see this. In order to get this template ID, you have to go to exit account, then scroll down. No, it is not here. Let's go to integration and see. It is not here also. I've forgotten where I actually got a template ID. Not here. Where is it? Let's go to settings and see. Okay, not there. So where is this template ID? Let me see. Okay, let's just copy it this way. Let me see, did I even copy it? So just copy. So let me see my clipboard. I have it here, template. I've forgotten where I actually got it. So let's go to our text editor here and let's paste it here. And let's save this. Then underneath that, if response dot status is equal to 200, so 200, then we want to do swell dot fire. Then here the first one is great job. Then the second argument should be the message, thanks for contacting us. Then the last argument should be the success message. Then let's see inside the catch block also, if there is error, let's console log the error. So error. Then below that, if error, then we are going to do swell dot fire, and this we are going to say oops. So oops. Then here let's say sorry something, so something bad really happened. So what happened? Then let's say please try. So try again. Then the last argument is the error. Now let's see if everything is correct. So this last argument here is the error. Then we need, let's see, I think everything is correct. Now let's go and test it and see if it will actually work. Now let's go to the blog here. Let's see, this is let me put my name, then let me put some random email here. Let me see, gmail.com. the message, hi, I really like your content. So let's click and see. Okay, I think there is a problem. All right, await form dot after render here. Okay, module pass cannot use keyword await outside an async function. Okay, let's see. Await, let's go to the contact. So here you have to change it to async here. Then let's go back and see if it will work. So let's refresh this and see, and let's remove. So first let's go to the home page, then let's go to the contacts, and first let's do name. So here my name, then let's say lboy86 at gmail, so gmail.com. then I'm going to say, hi, I like your content. So content, let's send this and see. Okay, let's wait for it. I think it is working. Great job, thanks for contacting us. I think it worked. And after some few seconds, so if you go to my email, let me see, mail.google.com, then let's go to my email that I'm using, this email here. I don't know if it is this one. All right, so you can see this new message. You have this new message that says, hi, I like your content. So I think, so let's go back to our blog again. Let's see, let's go to about. You have the about page. Let's go to the mobile view also, and let's see if everything is working. About, so here we have contact, then here let's go to the home page, let's click. All right, I think everything is working. So guys, this is the end of this tutorial. If you like this content, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and share this video. See you in the next video.